Hello, everyone. This is Rich Michael Jones. Time for the Bible read again for January the 8th. Three's always a charm, you know. I'm going to be reading out of Exodus chapter 28, verses 1 through 43. Call for your brother, speaking of Moses, Aaron and his sons, Nadab, Abihu, Elzar, and Ithamar. Set them apart from the rest of the Israels so they may minister to me and be my priest. Make sacred garments for Aaron and the glorious and beautiful. Instruct all the skilled craftsmen whom I've filled with the spirit of wisdom. Have them make garments for Aaron and that will distinguish them apart as priests. Set apart my service. These are the garments they are to make: a chest piece, an ephod, a robe, a patterned tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make these sacred garments for your brother Aaron and his sons to wear when they serve me as priests. So give them fine linen cloth, gold thread, and blue, purple, and scarlet thread. The craftsman must make the ephod of finely woven linen and skillfully embroider it with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It will consist of two pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with two shoulder pieces. The decorative sash will be made of the same materials, finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, scarlet thread. Take two onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the tribes of Israel. 6 names will be on each stone, arranged in order of the births of the original sons of Israel. Engrave these names on the 2 stones. In the same way, a jeweler engraves a seal. Then mount the stones in settings of gold filigree. Fasten the 2 stones of the shoulder pieces on the ephod and remainder that Aaron represents the people of Israel. Aaron will carry these names on his shoulders as a constant reminder whenever he goes before the Lord. Make the setting of gold filigree. Then braid 2 cords of pure gold and attach them to the filigree settings on the shoulders of the ephod. Then, with great skill and care, make a chest piece to be worn for seeking a decision from God. Make it to match the ephod using finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Make chest pieces of a single piece of cloth foiled to the form a pouch 9 inches square. Mount 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row will contain a red carnelian, a pale green peridot, and an emerald. The second row will contain a turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and a white moonstone. The third row will contain an orange zasnith, an agate, and a purple amethyst. The fourth row will contain a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and a green jasper. All these stones will be set in gold filigree. Each stone will represent one of the 12 sons of Israel, and the name of that tribe will be engraved on it like a seal. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, make braided cords of pure gold thread. Then make 2 gold rings and attach them to the top corners of the chest piece. Tie the 2 gold cords to the 2 rings on the chest piece. Tie the other ends of the cord to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. And then make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. And make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the front of the ephod below the shoulder pieces, such just above the knot where the decorative sash is fastened to the ephod. Then attach the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cord. This will hold the chest piece securely to the ephod above the decorative sash. In this way, Aaron will carry the names of the tribes of Israel on his chest piece. over his heart when he goes into the holy place. And this will be a continual reminder that he represents the people when he comes before the Lord. Insert the Urim and the Thummim into the sacred chest piece so they will be carried over Aaron's heart. And when he goes into the Lord's presence on the way, Aaron will always carry over his heart the objects used to determine the Lord's will for his people whenever he goes in before the Lord. Quiet, Zeus. Make the robe that is worn with the ephod from a single piece of blue cloth with an opening from Aaron's head in the middle of it. Reinforce the opening with woven collars so that it will not tear, and make pomegranates out of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and attach them to the hem of the robe with the gold bells between them. The gold bells and pomegranates are to alternate all around the hem. Aaron will wear this robe when he ministers before the Lord, and whenever he ministers before the Lord, and the bells will tinkle as he goes in and out of the Lord's presence in the holy place. If he wears it, he will not die. Next, make a medallion of pure gold and engrave it like a seal. With these words, holy to the Lord, attach the medallion with a blue cord to the front of Aaron's turban, where it must remain, and Aaron must wear it on his forehead so he may take on himself any guilt of the people as Israel when they consecrate their sacred offerings. He must always wear it on his forehead so the Lord will accept the people. Weave Aaron's patterned tunic, fine linen cloth, fashion the turban from this linen as well. Also make a sash and decorate it with the colorful embroidery. For Aaron's sons make tunics, sashes, and special head coverings that are glorious and beautiful. Clothe your brother Aaron and his sons with these garments, and then anoint and ordain them. Consecrate them so they can serve as my priests. Also make linen undergarments for them to be worn next to their bodies, reaching from their hips to their thighs. These must be worn whenever Aaron and his sons enter the tabernacle or approach the altar in the holy place to perform their priestly duties. Then they shall not incur guilt and die. This is the permanent law for Aaron and all the descendants after him. Rules. And then Matthew's is chapter 25, verse 31 through chapter 26, verse 13. But when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon the glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, Come, you all who are blessed by the Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you envisioned me. Then these righteous ones will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or strangers and give you hospitality, or naked? And when did we ever see you sick or in prison and then visit you? Ah, people of little faith. And the king will say, I tell you the truth, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. Then the king will turn to those on the left and say, Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. For I was hungry, and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty, and you didn't give me a drink. And I was strange. Need to go outside? Somebody must have choked on that little bit of reading. My dog choked on it. He didn't like it at all. I was thirsty and you didn't give me a drink, and I was a stranger and you didn't invite me in your home. I was naked and you didn't give me clothing, and I was sick and you didn't visit me. Then they will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry, thirsty, stranger, naked, sick, or in prison, and not help you? And he will answer you, I tell you the truth, when you refuse to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you refuse to help me, and they will go away into the eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into the eternal life. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he said to his disciples, as you know, Passover begins in 2 days, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified. At that same time, the leading priests and elders were meeting at the residence of the Caiaphas, the highest priest, plotting how to capture Jesus secretly and kill him, but not during the Passover celebration. They agreed, or the people may riot. Meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the house of Simeon, a man who had previously had leprosy. While he was eating, a woman came in with a beautiful alabaster jar of expensive perfume and poured it over his head. The disciples were indignant and they saw this. What a waste, they said. It could have been sold for a high price and the money given to the poor. But Jesus, aware of this, replied, Why criticize this woman for doing such a good thing to me? You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. She has poured this perfume on me to prepare my body for burial. I tell you the truth, whenever the good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deeds will be remembered and discussed. And it is. Psalms 31, 9 through 18. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am in distress. My tears blur my eyes, my body, soul are withering away, and I am dying from grief. My years are shortened by sadness. Sin has drained my strength, and I was wasting away from within. I am scorned by all my enemies and despised my neighbors. Even my friends are afraid to come near me. When they see me on the street, they run the other way. I am ignored as if I were dead. As if I were a broken pot, I have heard the many rumors about me. I am surrounded by terror. My enemies conspire against me, plotting to take my life. But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying, You are my God. My future is in your hands. Rescue me from those who hunt me down relentlessly. Let your favor shine on your servant. In your unfailing love, rescue me. Don't let me be disgraced, O Lord, for I call out to you for help. Let the wicked be disgraced. Let them lie silent in the grave. Silence their lying lips, those proud and arrogant lips that accuse the godly. In Proverbs, I, wisdom, live together with good judgment, and I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride and arrogance, corruption, and perverse speech. There you go. February 8th. God bless everybody.